It was supposed to be a quiet Sunday morning. Malik, 34, stood by Gate C of the interstate bus terminal, balancing a cup of coffee in one hand and a sketch pad in the other. His rolling suitcase rested by his side, neatly packed with clothes, his laptop, a portfolio of blueprints, and an expensive drawing tablet, tools of his trade. Malik was an architect, a good one, and after weeks of back-and-forth meetings, he was finally heading to Philadelphia to meet a new client face-to-face. The terminal bustled with typical weekend traffic, travelers in sweatpants scrolling through phones, families whispering to toddlers, college students in headphones. Then, like a slow ripple through a still pond, two uniformed security officers entered the area. Malik didn't look up until they were in front of him. "You, sir," the taller one said. "Random screening. We need you to open your luggage." People glanced over, heads turned. The woman beside him in a business suit froze with her sandwich halfway to her mouth. Malik blinked. "I'm sorry?" he asked, confused. "Did I do something wrong?" "No, sir," the second officer answered flatly. "Just a routine check, following procedure." Malik hesitated. "Is this truly random, or am I being selected for a different reason?" "You want to make this harder than it has to be?" the taller one shot back. "Either you open your bag or we'll do it for you." All conversation around him seemed to shrink into a single point of silence. Malik crouched down slowly and unzipped the suitcase. Clothes, charger, the tablet, and a laptop. Nothing more than what any traveler might carry. But as he pulled them out one by one, the questioning began. "This yours?" the officer asked, holding up the tablet. "Yes? You design stuff?" "I'm an architect." The officer raised an eyebrow. "That right? Fancy gear for a bus ride." The tone was unmistakable, laced with doubt, with presumption, with the kind of suspicion that's never written in a manual but always understood. Passengers stared openly now. One took a picture. Malik's throat tightened. He could feel shame boiling into anger, not just at the invasion of privacy, but at how deliberate the humiliation was. His underwear was now visible to strangers. His blueprints unrolled clumsily into the floor. "Do you mind being gentle with that?" he asked when one officer picked up the laptop by a screen. "You think you can tell us how to do our job?" the officer barked. "Like I said, we're just following procedure." The inspection dragged on pointlessly. When they were finally done, having found absolutely nothing, the bus had already pulled out. "You made me miss my bus," Malik said, his voice trembling. The officer shrugged. "And take the next one." No apology, no explanation, nothing? The shorter one gave a smirk. "We were just doing our job, calm down." Malik stood in the middle of the terminal, his belongings a mess on the floor, his dignity shredded in front of dozens of silent witnesses. No one spoke up. No one intervened. And the phrase rang in his ears over and over, louder than the hum of fluorescent lights, louder than the wheels of passing luggage. We were just following procedure. Procedure. Whose procedure? Written by whom? Designed to protect who? And target who? That night, Malik sat alone at a coffee shop, waiting for the next available bus. But in truth, he was no longer waiting to go to Philadelphia. He was waiting for something bigger, for a world where his skin didn't invite suspicion, where his success didn't need to be justified, and where public humiliation wasn't passed off as just policy. He looked down at the sketch pad in front of him and began to draw. Not a building, but a person. A man standing upright, surrounded by shadows, shaped like hands reaching for his belongings. He titled it "According to Procedure," but beneath that, he added a second line in pencil. According to whom?